Morning. Loading her up with seed. We're heading back to the field. Had a slight rain last night. By slight, I mean very light. We had just enough rain that I slept a little extra, which is good because we're going to work late tonight, I hope. Might have settled the dust for a couple hours though. We're going to load this tender pretty heavy. I think it's about 4,500 pounds to fill up. So I'm going to try to get 3 on here. So this tender has work lights on it. One thing I've been doing, I've just been leaving my work lights on and using the key to shut it off. That way I knew if I screwed up and forgot to shut my key off, it doesn't drain my battery that way. Okay, I had to come over here to pick Dad up. There's 60 acres over here we did not strip till. So he is going to spread that this morning with the fertilizer spreader, and then he's going to plant it because we don't have a whole lot of corn left to plant.
Good morning, everybody. I got to spread some fertilizer today where we did strip till. Got to put the fertilizer on so we can finish planting corn over here at this farm. Got about 60, 70 acres here to do. Have all the fertilizer on here, then I can go ahead and plant this. And so we got the floater going. I think it's ready to go. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera up there. I don't know if you can see anything. We're gonna get started here. I think we're ready. Okay, everything looking good. I've looked at it. Everything's set like it always has, so everything looks good. The pattern looks good.
So Dad got all that planted yesterday. He just said this morning he has 300 acres of corn left. Now some of that's the ground that we tiled. We're gonna have to do something to it. It's not gonna get planted today, but after today we should be down to basically that field that's tiled and a couple fields around it, or the crawdad country as we call it. It's a little wet, hence the tile. Alright, time to get back after it. So we made a pretty good dent in this field. We did get half done with it. God willing, we should finish it. So I really like spring vertical tillage on corn stalks, planting into beans, or planting beans into them. I mean, it just pretty much decimates the corn stalks. By this point, they're fairly rotten, and when that Turbomax hits them, they basically just disintegrate. The only bad thing is, if you had down corn, or if you had it right, didn't hold its ear well, or whatever, you end up with that corn on the ground, and that corn will grow. And that Turbomax basically just planted it. Whereas if we wouldn't have tilled this, that corn would have just stayed on top of the ground. Yeah, we just planted, you know, some corn. We had some down corn in this field. Now we can fix that, but it's just another herbicide we'll have to put in, spend some money to kill that volunteer corn.
Yeah, I've screwed up, got some clumps in the tender and they won't feed down. That's all that's coming out. Not much. Been working on this thing for an hour, poking on it. Okay, got it around and around it. Got it on the auto steer. This is Ag Leader's complete auto track. Goes on the steering wheel. Works pretty daggone good. This field's so daggone bumpy. Didn't run all that fast. Run the turbo tiller last year, Turbomax last year or so. Got it kind of washboardy. I don't know what we're going to do, spoot it up some way. We're going to run a fuel cultivator, it looks like. I finally got loaded, got a pretty good load on. Enough to do this field, hopefully. Good. If I can get it done, probably it. Maybe try to plant it this afternoon.
Yeah, another opener dragging up. Wonderful. Warning, you're about to see some blood. If you don't like that kind of stuff, turn away. It jumped up and bit me. Tore a little flap of skin off the end of my finger. I like that skin, so I hit the planter with a hammer and I felt better afterwards. Well, I didn't have a fresh opener in the cab with me, so I just put that one back on and unplugged it, and it didn't even make it to the end of this row before it plugged up again, so for whatever reason, we're gonna have to replace it. Ducks. So we got done with the big field doing this 20-acre field, then we're going to move to another 180, something like that. But I was reading the comments in the last video I posted. Somebody said it cannot be just the planter. It's got to be the operator that's having issues with this. Listen, I will own every mistake I make, but the planter not being able to fold and unfold properly due to software and design issues has absolutely nothing to do with who's sitting in the seat. And I know this because multiple people that have ran this planter have had this same issue. I've had some people say that we should have went over this planter with a fine-tooth comb. What should we have went over exactly? The meters work fine. The seat tubes work fine. The compressor works fine. The main issues we're having are things like opener bearings, or openers in general. Now, they are within spec as per my case IH operator's manual, or whatever you want to call it. So I really don't know what I should do in the winter to quote unquote go over this with a fine-tooth comb. I don't claim to be the greatest operator, but I do know I've planted several thousand acres with 5 different planters now in my career. 5, 2 Case, a Fendt, a John Deere, and a Great Plains. Yeah, 5. And they've all had their little quirks. You expect that when you're planting, but most of them I knew how to fix. These ones I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with those openers. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know how to make it fold and unfold more reliably. I have no idea. Yeah, just figured I'd vent a little bit. A little cranky, a little sleepy. I don't know, something about that comment just rubbed me wrong. So the real question is, how long can we plant on 1 bar of fuel? We're going to be finding out here soon. So that bar went off like 10 acres ago. We got about 5 left in this field. Then we're going to the fuel tank.
Well, I'm so glad that thing showed up.
Carabineri ain't what happened.
Yeah.
I don't think that's supposed to be bit like that, is it? Like it might be bit.
An option that year.
Oh, it was an option.
I may or may not have caught a snag. I think it was just heavy dirt.
Heavy dirt.
Heavy dirt.
Tile dirt.
Yeah, that tile dirt.
That piece was bent down, so we heated it, put the forklift under there and raised it up. It bent back. Now it gets tightened up.
Yeah, I guess we should have worked on this thing in the shop this winter. God knows I know how to redesign a nitrogen charged locking pin. So there's really nothing I know to do to fix it other than turn it off. Wait for the battery to reset. I don't know. I know we're about out of fuel, so that's good. No idea why, but it's working. Temperamental thing. There's a BJ. Working some corn ground, so this field's really unlevel and we didn't get a strip till it this year, so I'd say that's why he's working it. He's going really slow, more or less just running that thing like a disc, a low speed disc. Well, we made it. Man, that window's dirty. Must still had some hydraulic oil, but looks like the meal wagon's here with dinner. Hi guys, pizza. I like pizza. This feels like half a pizza. Put that right there, don't go nowhere. Now we're gonna fuel up. Or, well, we're fueling up and we're gonna fill up. So I'm steering on BJ's line from last year. I forgot, a couple videos ago I said they didn't work. Well, what happened was I forgot that the width that doesn't transfer. So basically he made his end rows last year with a 30-foot implement. So I had to nudge them over for a 40-foot implement. So I had to put a 5-foot nudge in there. That's Dad and BJ over there. I win the light game. Now they can see me. They didn't know I was over here. Should we start signaling them? Alright friends, we're about 90 acres in. BJ's bringing some seed now. We've got to be running on fumes by now. I did have those boxes as full as I could get them, but we've got to be near the end. But yeah, if she keeps going like this, we're going to get some stuff done tonight. Oh, it's time for a stretch. Here comes my tender. It's finally warm at night. It's been getting cold at night. Right now it's still short sleeve weather. That's nice. If we get a little bit of rain on these crops tonight, they'll shoot right out of the ground. That'd be wonderful. A little dusty though. Looks like a powder party up here. I thought you were peeing. All right, we have, good grief, look at all the dust. Whew. My beard's not that gray, but we have the seed, let's go. All right, folks, we are at the end of our night, I believe. So in this 190 acre field that we're in, we chisel plowed like 60 acres of it, and we are to that 60 acres. There's like a 70% chance of rain tonight, and that chisel plowed ground's extremely fluffy and very dry. So I'm afraid that if I plant it now and we get that ½ inch of rain, there's no more rain in the forecast for another week. I'm afraid that that's going to crust that ground over real bad. And I guess I'd really just like it to rain on that before we plant it, if possible. I mean, if it's not going to rain for a while, maybe we'll readdress it tomorrow. But for now, we're going to call her quits. End up putting in a pretty good day. We were right at 250 acres for the day, so finally hit that goal. Hopefully this thing will fold up now. Had someone ask why I use my devil finger to tap on the monitor, because it's longer than my index finger. I want to fold. I want to fold. Alright, why won't you let me fold? Okay. Okay. Moment of truce. Come on, come on. Oh, we're going to be in luck. Whenever it works, well, maybe we're not in luck. Oh no. Come on. I have to call the case tech in the morning. I know last year he told me a way you can bleed some pressure off to make it work, but I can't remember how to do that right now. Can't get this thing to fold up. Seriously, 2 miles from my truck. It's 1:30 in the morning. Planner worked good. Can't get it to fold. Well, I just bled a few lines back there. I don't remember which one I was supposed to bleed, so I bled 3 of them. Maybe that'll work. Thank God.